School of Management Studies IGNOU presents an audiobook on the course MMPC-007 Business Communication for MBA program. Presenting Block 4 Communication in Organization, Unit-15 Ethics in Communication, Part-1. In Part-1, we will discuss Introduction, Ethical Framework, Ethical Communication, Values in Communication. Let us listen to the program.
Unit 15 Ethics in Communication. After studying this unit, you should be able to first understand the concept of ethics. Second, evaluate the contribution of values to ethical communication. Third, assess the elements of ethical communication. Introduction. As per the Oxford Dictionary 1963, the Greek origin of the word ethics means as ethos, or the manner in which one dispossesses his or her culture. Ethics since then has taken different definitions. One such definition suggests that ethics critically analyzes cultural values to ascertain the discourse as right or wrong and the intensity of the right or wrong. Truth and justice are two pillars of standard used as criteria for the evaluation. Ethics is an effort to evaluate the connection that an individual has with society. It further explores the role that nature and God play in this connection. While making decisions which are ethical in nature, individuals introspect their discourse on the continuum of good and excellent. Ethics in communication has linkages since ages, and ethical communication has been connected to behavioral conduct in personal and professional lives both. Adam Smith, in his book Moral Sentiment 1759, has made contributions in building up moral foundations in the economic and political system of the society. He suggests that society and business require mandatory inclusion of morality. The issue of morality and society were patronized by Mahatma Gandhi from 1925 onwards, while he rigorously worked for the upliftment of morality in the society. He believed that every human can get what she or he needs, but it can never satiate his or her greed. He believed that as a society modernizes, its ethical standards starts to deplete. Ethics is popularly visualized as a set of rules that proposes how one should conduct himself or herself or itself in a society. It operates as a guide that offers inputs on morality in our day-to-day living. It helps us judge whether our intended behavior is justified or not. Ethics helps us differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. Since all businesses have stakeholders, as the norms are followed by the society, businesses too have to follow certain ethical norms. In this unit, we will discuss the concept of ethics and how it plays an important role in communication. Ethical framework. Let us first discuss an ethical framework and how it compares the means, ends, and intention as good or bad. We will discuss the ethical framework as given by McCroskey. Intent. Intent is the parameter used to examine the ethicality of anything. During communication, our preparation, receptivity, and inclination are based on the intent of the process. Behaviors which do not receive a consensus indicate that they are not ethical. Code of ethics offers a standard to measure the intended communication. Some organizations have a code of conduct or ethical guidelines designed to suit the organizational requirements, while others follow the general ethical principles. Individuals may sometimes unknowingly indulge in unethical behavior. Thus, understanding and acknowledging the intent of action suggests whether it is ethical or not. Means. Means are the tools employed in order to achieve a desired outcome. The choice of action one makes could lie on the spectrum of good and bad. Even when the means lead to the same results, yet they can categorically identify the direction of the good-bad spectrum. The outcome of the action, deemed as the end, can also be good or bad. The same end could be good or bad for different people depending on what role they are playing in the communication or action. Researchers suggest that while evaluating ethical behavior, one should ask 3 basic questions. First, have I discussed the ethicality of the behavior with others and come to a general consensus that the behavior is ethical? Second, does the behavior adhere to known codes of ethics? Third, would I be happy if the outcomes of the behavior were reversed and applied to me? In the ethical matrix, behavior is considered to be ethical when the good end combines with good means, contrary to bad means leading to bad end, which tends to be an unethical behavior in the ethical matrix. There can be situations where bad means lead to good end, and this is termed as Machiavellian ethics, whereas good means leading to bad end is termed as subjective ethics. Ethical communication. Ethical communication refers to the process of sharing information which is created with sincere intentions and intended to provide honest information. This information will not be misleading and should be conveyed in a fashion wherein the information is complete in all respects, essentially with reference to its context, so that there lies transparency in all formats and the receiver does not correlate the information to a situation where the same is not intended by the sender. Ethical communication is practiced by all entities, including individuals, societies, cultures, nations, organizations, government, etc., with an intention to foster reliable relationships while thinking and deciding responsibly while communicating. This form of communication ensures the establishment of individual integrity along with respecting people around them. Ethical communication increases the quality of communication by integrating truth in all forms so as to collectively enhance the ethical standards of the society in general and individuals in specific. Principles to ethical communication. There are certain principles of communication which, when adhered to, leads to ethical communication. These are: first, to create communication which is truthful, accurate, honest, and has a purpose. Second, to provide an environment for freedom of expression, varied viewpoints, and tolerance to non-agreement of viewpoints. This will ensure that the community that we are in has the ability to make fair decisions in light of all possible information. Third, to make extensive efforts in acknowledging and understanding the perspective and viewpoints of other communicators ahead of understanding, evaluating, and responding to any communication from their end. Fourth, to assist in providing and access to resources required for effective communication as well as desired information for ensuring fairness to all, which will uplift the general ethical standards of the society in general and section in particular. Fifth, to create an ambience of mutual trust and understanding Wherever and whenever communication happens as a respect to the unique requirement and attributes of individuals involved in communication. Sixth, to denounce any communication that depletes the existence of humanity by virtue of its content and intention. This includes any communication that is distorted or intimidated, promotes violence or hatred, and is intolerant. Seventh, to promote and support unconditionally the expressions of an individual which are strong, fair, and just. Eighth, to advocate exchange of information, opinions, and expressions in the hour of decision making that influences the society. This process should be conducted while respecting the privacy of individuals. Ninth, all individuals involved in the communication hold the responsibility of the consequences of the same and do not blame anyone else for it. 10th, to ensure that communication elicits a general sense of positivity. Ethics in business communication. Information is the biggest asset for any organization. This information, which sometimes may be sensitive in nature, should be managed appropriately. Confidential information has to be handled with utmost care. Leakage of the same can cause ethical issues, which can affect the customers or investors and sometimes the company itself. All the stakeholders in an organization seek ethical standards in communication. Ethics practiced during communication are essential contributors to reputation building, avoiding legal issues, and creating a general sense of good. Business communication should ensure adherence to few ethical standards. These are: first, being honest; second, intending no harm; third, fairness. We will discuss these in brief. Being honest. Any communication that is developed should be honest. Communication could flow from top management to employees or from employees to superiors or sometimes even between peer groups. The facts and figures should be relevant and correct to the best of the knowledge of the individual who has prepared it. Any confidential or sensitive information should be masked and revealed only to the intended receiver. For example, medical history or investigation information should not be made available on any public domain. Intending no harm. The communication should be designed in a fashion that it does not cause intended or unintended harm to anyone. For example, while drafting statutory warnings on cigarette packets, illicit information on the fatal impacts of smoking should be mentioned. Hiding or twisting the information could cause a negative impact on the consumers. Hence, this type of distorted information can be classified as unethical communication. Fairness. While creating communication within the organization, society, or group, efforts should be made to ensure that all intended receivers are treated equally. For organizations should ensure such kind of parity at the end of employees, customers, and society at large. Fixing price, bribing, or insider information could be some instances where communication done could be deemed as unfair and instrumental for only a few individuals. Values in communication. Values play a crucial role in shaping an individual's behavior. Values may differ across different cultures, regions, countries, etc. Yet, there are certain values that remain common. These are the ones that operate as the beginning point for an ethical foundation. People value happiness the most and want to avoid suffering. Love, kindness, peace, mutual respect, and understanding are preferred values. The core values are promoted by the UN General Assembly are inherent dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family, along with freedom, justice and peace. Some common shared values and traits proposed by different experts include empathy, compassion, truthfulness, dignity, kindness, love, justice, fairness, moral courage, respect, care, and humility. Values operate as the beginning point for ethical communication. While designing communication that is deemed to be ethical, these values are used as a standard measure. With different cultures, the priority or importance given to various values may differ. Human beings also differ with each other on the basis of their education level, gender, ethnicity, age, etc., thus creating a unique spectrum of combination of values for each individual. Even after this demarcated difference between individuals, there is a common emotional connection in communication. Each individual is unique with a set of characteristics, which shaped with the distinct experiences offers an interpretation of values, beliefs, perceptions, and needs. A similar sequence is also created for an organization, which we call the organization's shared values. We tend to behave in a fashion as we expect others to behave with us. Ethical communication requires an understanding of the value system, specific needs, beliefs, and values of the individual one is communicating with. Every ethical communication should be contextual in nature in order to be relevant and meaningful.
You are listening to audiobook by School of Management Studies IGNOU for MBA program. Course code MMPC-007 Business Communication. Block 4, Unit-15, Part-1. Course Coordinator Professor Neeti Agrawal from School of Management Studies IGNOU. Voiceover by Santosh Bharati. Edited by Tarannum Jahan. Program assisted by Jagbandhu Jana. And program produced by Manoj Kumar Singh. This program was brought to you by Electronic Media Production Center of Indira Gandhi National Open University.